Oh, and we're live. No, you're muted. No. Nah.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm muted, Rob.
And this week we got not a busy week, but in terms of playing games, we have WoW this week, so it's been kind of out there. But let's start talking to Andrew. See what he's been up to.
So I remember the game that I played, and I am playing on the Switch, is Battle Chasers Night War. I don't know why it's hard to remember, but it's still a great RPG.
It's a long name.
I'm near the end. And I want to finish that game. I mean, yeah, it's a great game. I just want to finish it now because I have another RPG I'm waiting for is Octopath. So I'm set on that. I've been playing
how many hours do you think it was for?
I've been playing
Battle Chasers.
20, 25 hours into it.
It's not bad.
Yeah. For an RPG like that, yeah, it's average, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd agree.
Yeah, I like it. Now for also on the Switch, I've been playing some Overcooked 2 with the wife, and that's a great game. So I'll have a review on that later. And I'm trying to get into WoW. I haven't gone. By try I mean like every single time. Well, no. Every single time I try to get on, and it's like, oh, servers are down. Something's happening. I just can't get on. I don't know what it is.
Let's get on at really bad times.
Yes, they are very bad times. I don't know, but I will play this week sometime.
I've never heard of WoW. I don't like indie games.
Indie games.
It's made by a very small company. What have you been up to, Rob?
I have been negligent on anything nerd outside of watching the two biggest digital releases of the year probably, or the past week. So I have seen Deadpool 2 again, and I've seen Avengers Infinity War twice now.
Yeah, I got
Nice.
my Infinity War Blu-ray stacked on my shelf next to all
Yeah.
the other Marvel movies.
It's such a fun movie to watch. So with my nerd time, I basically watched it twice. So so no games were played, unfortunately, but I did watch Avengers, and it did not change from one to the other. It was everything still
Great
happened.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, still snapped his fingers.
Still snaps.
Still snaps. How about you,
Well,
Brandon?
Yeah, well, what is today? Wednesday? Well, I've been playing WoW every second I can since it's released.
This is
And,
good.
luckily, I have the next 2 days off, and I'm gonna finish her up right now. About halfway through the leveling, so I'm not really going to give a big review, in-depth look this week. I will next week. I'll talk about it a little this week here in a bit.
You're gonna beat WoW?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be WoW. Always try to be WoW.
Okay.
When you've played a game for 14 years, you really want to beat that game.
Get to the end of it. See the credits. Start
For some reason, they keep adding more stuff, and the credits never roll.
No, the credits
Right.
are just right at the login screen, very bottom right. You
That's
just hit
true.
that, and you're good
That's
to go.
true.
You can win
That's
the game without even logging in.
Yeah,
That's
just
cheating,
paying
though.
money. Yeah.
Besides that, played some Madden. And for those of you who are in Discord while I played Madden, you understand how salty I get when I play that game.
Are you playing against our legion of game players?
Yeah, I've been in. I've played a couple games against some of the community members. Yeah, it's been fun.
What's your record? How you doing?
The league we started in, I didn't win a single game.
Oh wow!
I beat Lone. Shout out to Lone. I beat Lone. He apparently had a spotless
Beat it,
record,
Lone.
beat everybody, and
Wow.
I finally beat Lone, and that was nice.
Nice.
I didn't. He wanted a rematch, but I said I'm gonna stick with my one win.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I also got into some Black Ops 3 beta or 4. Gosh, so many.
That's right. I know.
things I've lost count. But I'll talk about that as well here in a bit.
Cool.
But other than that, I think that's about everything I got my hands into. So let's dive into the news and get this thing on the road.
Transition news.
Right?
I wish we had one.
All right. THQ Nordic has acquired Time Splinters and Second Sight.
Oh, good old
I think
time
we-
splitters.
Yeah, I think we brought that up a couple times in the show.
We talk about time splitters from occasionally. I'm not sure. I mean, can it still hold up? It was kind of like a GoldenEye competitor, right?
Oh, it was. It was the GoldenEye competitor for. Oh, I mean, not competitor. It wasn't the competitor at the time. PS2. It was the GoldenEye like, and that was
Yeah.
that was everyone playing that game.
Yep.
And I loved it with playing with my brothers with the
Yeah.
four player splitter. It was
Maybe
great.
Can you
to come
still
out with
love
some
it
battle royale
15
and
years
Heroes
later.
A battle royale 15
That's-
years later.
I mean,
No.
It's if it wants to compete with the popular shooters now, it's got to be battle royale. It's got to have hero classes, ultimates.
I won't play unless they put in some microtransactions.
Oh yeah, don't
Only
forget
way
about
I'll
those.
play a Royale game nowadays.
Don't forget about those.
I mean, they can do anything with it now, though, right? They can just go crazy with it, like
They could.
Fortnite went crazy. I mean, who
I
knows?
couldn't tell you a single character from that game.
They don't have names. They're just guy with glasses, chick with dual shotguns. That's fine.
John
Fine with
Wick's in
me.
it though,
Okay.
John Wick's in every game.
right? But yeah, so that was pretty big news. So, other big news is I don't know if you guys have watched it, but the Red Dead 2 Redemption gameplay trailer. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's kind of transcendent, isn't it? Like, doesn't it not even look like a game? Like, it looks like just like a movie you'd
It is
watch.
incredible. In my notes here, I wrote down that it looks like Rockstar is trying to give us the next quote-unquote Witcher game, where it kind of innovates and transcends the industry to a whole nother level. This game looks great, guys. It looks incredible.
Yeah, Witcher might be a good comparison because I mean you're on horseback, you're going around doing missions and different things. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Open world.
Yeah, I mean Witcher would be a fair comparison, and that's a tall order because Witcher might be one of the best games ever made.
Witcher set a bar for modern games, and I think this is what Rockstar's shooting for, is to jump that bar and
Fair.
become the
But will it have 200 hours of gameplay?
I could see it. The first Red Dead
Easily.
had quite a bit of gameplay.
Red Dead.
Plus they had the zombie. Before
Red Dead
zombies were a
Redemption did
thing.
not have 200 hours of gameplay.
I don't know. Look back at it. It might.
I don't know.
If you
I played
explored
that-
everything,
Yeah, if I explored everything, I think
It was like
I did most of the game. I did.
There's a lot of quests. It has multiplayer too. That's something The Witcher doesn't have.
true, but I don't feel like we need to shoehorn multiplayer
Oh
into
no,
The Witcher.
definitely not. Not. I'm
And
not gonna
I would
that.
say The Witcher didn't even have 200 hours by like in the main campaign or even
Oh,
with like the side
no.
quests. You had to go exploring to get to that 200 and really explore that entire world. But yeah, there was a ton of content obviously in Witcher. So we'll see. Excited for it though.
I think they could pull it off. I think there's enough there. They could put
Mhm.
enough content in it.
Sometimes I feel like those kind of games are too big. I don't want to get into another Origins situation where just the world is too large for me to really enjoy.
I kind of dig those games, and I always kind of throw myself into them for a very long time.
Or just focus
I'm
on
more
the main
interested in the next game
storyline.
we're going to talk about.
Oh yeah, and another trailer came out. It's for Spider-Man PS4, of course. It's called the Open World trailer, and you've seen a little bit of gameplay. It's kind of more of like it was more like a trailer than actual gameplay, like the Red Dead one was. But they kind of show off the swinging, some combat. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me was that you get to see the Avenger Tower and Doctor Strange's the Sanctum
Oh, that's fun.
in New York, and it looks like it's going to take place in in sort of an MCU style universe, not the same universe, but one of the same sense. But the developer said you're not going to see any of the other heroes in this game. It's just be Spider-Man.
Should be.
Well, they don't have the rights to all of that, so makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think what Marvel did was actually they approached Insomniac and said, what character in the MCU or in the Marvel universe do you want to make a game about? And they picked Spider-Man. So I think if they wanted to add somebody else in there, I don't think Marvel would have a problem with that.
I'm just hoping for a really good Spider-Man game. They've made some decent ones under Beanox and Activision, past couple years, but Insomniac, this one looks special. And
This one does look special.
I've got a lot of high hopes for this one.
For me,
You're right.
I actually want to see like the tree, like the skill tree, and what you have to do to earn specific more abilities. Because I assume that it's the same thing with other games they've created, whereas you earn XP and then you gain more abilities. That's something I kind of want to more see. I don't want to see more of these trailers. I want to see more in-depth feel of what you can do in this game. That's just me.
Yeah.
But-
Well, do you
It
have a
comes
credit
out.
card or a PayPal account?
I know.
No.
No,
That skill tree light right up.
I will be.
I'm kidding.
All right.
I don't know. If there's...
Yeah, I don't think that'll be there. But yeah,
I don't know
it's less than a month away. So you'll see some streams soon. I'm gonna pick it up day one for sure.
It's pre-ordered for me
Pour some hours
on
into it.
PlayStation. So
I don't have
Yeah.
a pro though.
That's pro's worth it.
Why even live?
I don't know.
Why
Yeah.
even be around?
Some other things that came off that trailer, and we'll move on, is that we talked about some of the villains that's going to be in there. I did see an Oscorp building that Spider-Man was going in front of, so we may see some of that. And Fisk, there were some guys that had Fisk, just like a bulletproof vest or bodyguard vest on that had Fisk on the back of it.
Cool.
So
Little Kingpin action.
that's a lot of villains in this game, it seems. But yeah, good stuff. And for those of you who have a Switch, it is rumored that there's possibility a couple of Pokemon games may be coming to it via Virtual Console, which is similar to what they did with games with the yellow, red, blue. They kind of ported those through VC to 3DS. So they might be doing that with maybe the other newer gens to the Switch.
That's fun.
I don't know if I'd check them out.
If they come out with a new Pokemon game, I really struggle to think it will be worthwhile.
I mean, some people like like the nostalgia, and
Sure.
since Nintendo's going really hard at emulating sites and stuff right now, it may be a way to easily attain the games you want to play. Of course, with your wallet.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking to the past of games, I look to the future, in which you can play with a rod and reel on your Joy-Con.
The Wii?
Almost.
Oh,
the Switch is finally releasing the Joy-Cons that they had talked about quite some time ago, where they showed the reel spinner for fishing game. So Bass Pro Fisher will be leveraging a new Joy-Con configuration using a rod and reel.
That's good.
You guys like fishing games on computer or on
fishing in games?
on console?
I like fishing in games.
Yeah, fishing in games. There's.
I'll sit there. I'll fish in WoW for one.
Yeah.
I would play for hours this Bassmaster Pro game with my roommates, and we would just sit there and try to get like the biggest fish. And you'd have to cast it all the way to the other side, and you like slowly trawl the bait back to the lake, and you pick them up. And this was like a Nintendo, maybe a Super Nintendo game. And yeah, we would put hours into it just to get, so you could get the biggest fish. So there's something to be said for it. I don't know where it sits nowadays, but it was fun at the time.
Before the Switch released, actually, I seen it was on Reddit. It was like a mock-up drawing of what the next Nintendo console might look like, and it was what the Switch looked like, but it had, instead of just the normal Joy-Con controllers, it was different attachments for different styles of games. And there was one for like rod and reel. There was like a game controller one for backwards compatible games. I mean, wherever that was, that could have been a leak a couple of years ago. And we might be actually seeing it come to fruition,
Yeah, who knows? The last one I can think of that had it was the Dreamcast. They had an actual reel.
That game was amazing, by the way.
It was, yeah.
That game specifically
now he's seeing my way.
It made fishing really hype, because when you got a fish, when you just snagged the fish, it was like, you got a fish. He's like, man, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was like Sonic Adventure, like Link throws his hand up in the air, like, you got a this, and it's like, well, I'm not that excited about it, but he'd be like, you caught a fish. Yeah, it's like 3D bullet time, like rotating around the fish, like you caught it.
That's pretty cool. I see the picture of it. That looks pretty awesome.
Looks legit, right?
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. That'd be interesting. I might actually give that a try out just for the gimmick of it. It looks cool.
It's definitely for your couch. I really can't see you playing it on the go. I think that'd be tough.
On the subway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be a great YouTube video. I don't know.
That would be.
Just people gathered around in a subway trying to catch fish with their. Yeah, you have to be somewhat active with it, and with the motion controls, I'm sure it's going to be pretty wild. But it's a fishing game, and I think it'll be fun.
That's cool.
Yep. So
I'll catch it on the clearance aisle one day.
There you go. Well, speaking of clearance or clearing out a library's budget for an entire year, a librarian was just arrested for embezzling $89,000 of a library's budget. So that's a lot of money to spend on a mobile game. He was hiding expenditures for the library, so he could spend all this money, $89,000, on Game of War. You might remember. I think Kate Upton made the game. I think she programmed it.
She was at least. She was
programmer?
at least somewhere involved. Yeah.
Okay. So that awful looking Civilization kind of game. Someone spent $89,000 on it. So he's currently going to jail. So let that be a lesson for you aspiring librarians out there.
For you librarians out there, don't be embezzling money for Pokemon.
Don't be embezzling for mobile games. Yes. So, well, I mean, that's that goes maybe even a little bit beyond like some of the humor of this is, they've been talking a little bit more about, gaming addiction. I mean, to spend $89,000 on a mobile game, how boring is your job? How little oversight do you have?
Librarian.
That's true. There's books to read. Free.
I mean, I personally would probably have bought me a PlayStation or something and brought it in somewhere.
Yeah, could have been. So anyway, a little bit of a lighter side of the news there. Exciting news.
Stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Some more Switch news. Diablo 3 is confirmed to be coming this year to the Switch.
Yes.
In all its glory.
In all of its glory. So everything. You'll have the expansion. You'll have the Necromancer portion. You have the and they have a special skin where you can look like Ganondorf.
That sold it right there to me.
Yeah, that be the third time I buy the game, maybe
Or
fourth.
a nice low price of $20 would be nice. I would get it.
Yeah.
You're $40 off, so it's not -20. So it is a full price game, but Diablo 3 on the go might be worth it.
That's some interesting, thinking of going around doing a whole season farm on the go.
Yeah.
It also has to have online capability though, which Nintendo's bad at. Don't know, does it?
It doesn't have to.
It does. I mean,
it
you
does.
do have to log in, but I wonder if there's an offline mode that they'll put in for the game. I imagine they'd have to, right?
Yeah. I mean the Switch has online capabilities, so
yeah, but not like cellular. So if you're like on the subway, what are you gonna do?
Your phone.
I just meant like the BattleNet capabilities and that sort of thing. Like that's all I'm saying.
We'll
but
see.
I know
You guys
it'll
have
have
ruined my
offline.
dreams. Ruined my dreams.
I have a feeling it will most likely have an offline mode.
It will.
I think the console versions have an offline mode. Don't
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, probably. So speaking of ruining things, the gaming site IGN
Perfect.
is working to remove all of the posts written by former editor Philip Musin,
Works for me.
who was fired last week for plagiarism. After internet sleuths found that dozens of his articles and videos copied or rephrased from other websites without attribution. So that was news that kind of blew up over the weekend. Did you guys hear anything about this?
We talked about it last episode about how
It was breaking last week, right?
Yeah, something about they had posted the review for Dead Cells.
Mm-hmm. And it was like 1 for 1 from a video.
1-for-1 copy. Yep.
Yeah, so they found dozens more just like it, where this guy basically ripped off hardworking journalists and reviewers.
I don't really know him from IGN though. Like I don't really know of. I watched IGN stuff, but I don't know where he is. I guess he's a Switch guy.
He's
a
just
Nintendo guy. He's an
say.
editor.
The point is that the editorial staff isn't checking this.
Yeah, it's not checking it. Yeah.
And how serious do you really need to take games journalism? I think that may be part of the issue there, is that maybe it's not looked at with the same scrutiny as like if this was like in the New York Times or if this was in like the Washington Post, they'd be ripped apart, Even if this was on Fox News, things would be ripped apart.
Ooh.
So that's an amazing it's an amazing thing to see happen, and the fact that it went on for so long.
That is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of awe-inspiring, I guess, that it's like, wow, they're really that incompetent to let that much stuff slide through.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, they're so large, possibly they let it through, and also, I mean, like you're saying,
IGN hasn't been known for like its clean slate,
Well, IGN is known to be the biggest.
They're definitely
network
the
of
largest,
gaming.
and most well-known.
Well, I mean, I signed up for an IGN account back when I first got on like America Online. Like they've been around forever.
Yeah.
I think they were like IGN 64 or something like that. They were reporting on Nintendo 64 news back when I first started watching or reading for them. And what they were is they were a newsletter you get in your email inbox every day, and it would be like one news story every day.
The good old RSS.
Yeah, those were dark times. This is before RSS. This was just they just emailed you an update. Yep. Here's your story.
So out of these stories, did they give a credit to the people that wrote them? Are those coming out now?
So I did not get too far into the story. I was kind of scrambling to get some news worthy stuff for today, but I thought that was interesting that they're going to remove them, and I think maybe instead of removing them, they should leave them and just give proper.
I agree. I totally agree.
Point.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's been totally figured out yet. So we'll keep an eye out, and I will report on it next week. We'll get an update.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah,
nice.
I think it's going to be probably a big groundbreaking thing in gaming journalism for a while.
I agree. Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, like I talked about earlier, I have some games to talk about, and we'll go into detail about that real fast. So Black Ops 4.
Blops
4. Not 3. If you're wondering what kind of game this is, take Call of Duty, strip it down a little bit, and then throw Overwatch on top of it. And that's kind of what you get. It's a hero. It's not, not really entirely based on heroes, but you do every match. You go pick a hero, Each hero has like a special ability, and it also has an ultimate that you build towards as you play, and you play better, you get it faster. Sounds very familiar. But you do have your special loadouts. You can make have a weapon with attachments. You still have your call signs, your perks, that kind of thing. With the heroes, there's like 6 of them to choose from. Some of them are better for different game modes and different maps. So that was that. The shooting and the movement, it's pretty stellar. It's pretty spot on. Feels really good. Even though it's a futuristic setting game, it's not like Titanfall or was a Infinite Warfare. Yeah.
Infinite Warfare. Yeah.
I mean, you flew around, jumped around on jetpacks, that kind of thing. It doesn't have any of that. One of the heroes has a grappling gun. That's it. But yeah, so it's pretty. Even though it's kind of got a futuristic setting, it's more, I would think, set in the realism side of Call of Duty. The maps that are in the beta anyway. They're pretty well balanced. They're about mirrored images in terms of one side doesn't have an advantage more than the other one does.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cool things I noticed that I didn't know about until I played the beta is that they have a new game mode called Heist, which is pretty much a CS:GO clone, except instead of going and planting a bomb like Search and Destroy, there's a bag of money, and both teams try to fight to get to the bag of money, and then get to the extract point to get the bag of money out. And of course, if you extract the money, you get somebody to go in the next round to buy more weapons and whatnot.
Yeah,
that is like CS:GO.
CS:GO.
Yeah. So you start off, you go into this game mode, and everybody starts with a pistol. You have a starter amount of money.
Yep. Okay.
Every time you hit somebody, you get a little bit of money. If you kill somebody, you get more. It is CS:GO, but instead of bombs, it's money.
Well, that's pretty cool, but I think there's one game mode everyone's just dying to hear about. So can you dig deep into it for us?
Yeah, the BR game mode. Now this is what everybody's kind of wanting to see. Everybody wants to know what a AAA company can do with a BR game mode.
And the answer is?
Yeah, it's called Blackout, and it's not going to be on the beta until September. It's going to have its own beta. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take the games that we have right now that are the most popular: Overwatch, Counter-Strike, and Fortnite, and put it in the Black Ops and just smash them together.
That's what
You're the guy from 2016. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're in the year 2018. Those are no longer the most popular games.
Well, they are trying it. They're trying it.
I would say that those three are probably in the top 5 shooters right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I mean, just because Fortnite and PUBG are directly in front of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why it has its own separate beta. But for the people that do love Black Ops and its core gameplay,
Siege is probably more than Black Ops.
But that's more of a clone itself.
The only thing that they really didn't have was a Siege-like mode, which I guess Search and Destroy has always been there, and it kind of has that Siege feeling. But Siege is definitely way more tactical.
Yep. Paul Endry agrees with me. Siege gets in that top 5.
Oh, yeah. I guess so. I guess. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, if I have access, I don't know if this beta also gives me access to the next beta. If I am, I'll probably try it out and let you guys know how Call of Duty Battle Royale mode works and how well it is.
Sweet.
I mean, if they can do CS:GO, I'm sure they can do BR. Why not?
Why not? Indeed.
Let's just do a massively multiplayer online RPG. Go ahead, Black Ops.
That's probably the next Black Ops game.
Yep, I agree.
Only if they have microtransactions.
I mean, of course.
I want to buy my mounts with cash.
Good point. The next game that I don't know what you guys know what this game is, but Battle for Azeroth is out. It's here. Everybody's playing it. If you haven't watched Twitch, there's been tons of marathons. Everybody's pretty much stayed up for a very long time and pretty much crashed about end of yesterday, today. I haven't got a lot into it because, I have to work. Life sucks. But I'm about halfway through the leveling experience. So I'm about halfway to where the game actually starts. So I'll give you guys a full review when I actually get to the real game next week.
Mm-hmm.
The real game.
So far, the leveling experience is probably one of my favorites that I've played through.
That's what I'd like to hear right there.
Yeah, I've played this game for the last 14 years since it came out. I've played every expansion, leveled through every zone as it was released, as it was current. And this one so far is probably in my top 2, maybe. This is a really fun experience leveling.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Although I will tell you, it sounds like every release that comes out, people are like, oh, this is the best one yet. And then it always works out to like a year later, oh, it was crap. We hated it. No one really liked it.
I liked Legion.
Legion was amazing.
I still like Legion. Even after now that it's gone, it's the previous expansion. I still think Legion was a great experience.
Okay.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from though. People like the hotness.
People don't like being told they made a mistake and investing so much time of their lives into something that end up not being great.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But that's a good point. It's pretty much World of Warcraft. Yes, it is an addiction that has to be fed. But one of the things that stands out to me in this game is the cutscenes. If you haven't seen the new cutscenes in World of Warcraft, Blizzard has really stepped up from the days of old. In the past 14 years, this is like the most growth I've ever seen.
They've always been pretty amazing. So
they're great.
I'm really gonna maybe YouTube the heck out of those things because
check them out.
I haven't seen them.
I
always thought all of them were very impressive. So yeah, love to see them.
They're on the levels of some animated shows and movies and stuff. They're very, very well done animation.
I think even the first one with the dwarf in the snow looked pretty amazing for the time.
Cinematic one, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always like the cinematic stuff has been.
Yeah, they had those, but now like they've got it incorporated into gameplay where.
Oh, really?
Your character is in this cutscene. Your character is walking around. It's in there talking with the other characters. It's impressive what they can do now.
Nice. Definitely want to check that out.
The setting, it's more your traditional setting. We're not being fighting off demonic invasions and flying through space. This one's grounded in just kind of your traditional medieval fantasy setting. I kind of like it. It's more rooted in the original Warcraft lore that you came in Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. And
I like it.
The story, the leveling experience so far has been pretty immersive. Normally when I play WoW, I have music playing, I have a stream going, and I'm just kind of not minding. But with this one, there's no music playing, there's no stream on the side. I'm just zoned in on what's going on the screen. It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's WoW for me right now.
I mean, it's a good point though from Chad. I guess like even though the graphics and it's not that intensive, or I mean, on high settings it's pretty good, but it doesn't compare to more recent RPGs online. But still, the artwork and
it's a 14-year-old game.
I know, yeah. The artwork and what they do with the game that's already been out for 14 years is still amazing to me, and how they can maintain and at least just incrementally improve it along the way.
So you know how you can do like /played and see like how many hours you played or how many days or months you played. You should do like /paid and see how much you paid.
Oh man,
you still feel quite the same about the game.
I paid a lot the last couple of years.
I bet if you like did /paid and it was like $2,000, you might be like, this game's not as good as I don't know.
I think I've definitely for the amount of hours I've put into the World of Warcraft, I've definitely gotten my money's worth for sure.
It's a game that transcends like just a single player experience way more than that.
Sure.
So you're paying for more of the experience of raiding, the experience of social gameplay that at its peak, at its best. So that's why I would say it's worth it in that sense.
Yeah, I went through the original game with my dad. We played together, and we actually started this expansion out together, and it was kind of a heartwarming throwback of when we first started playing. There we are again, both leveling. We actually played this exact same classes that we were in the original game. It was pretty cool.
Actually, just now in the Discord, you can see people coming back from the old Bad Mama Jamma's raiding crew, and it's really awesome to hear their voices again and just talk and play together. Yeah, possibly raid together, right?
Yeah, boy, it's coming.
Yeah, Rob, you should get into it. That's what we're saying.
Enough of this WoW talk. Let's move on to other things.
That's probably enough of WoW for now.
All right.
Till next week.
So that game I was talking about in the beginning, Overcooked 2, I believe that is a fantastic party game, but also just a great, even me and my wife enjoying it, having some teamwork, and the kids watching the goofiness on the screen. Because Overcooked 2 is a, if you don't know what it is, cooking game.
Kids watch. It's like, hey, you can't play.
Oh, they love it. They
watch
ask.
Mom and Dad.
No, they asked for it. Like after dinner, they're just like, "Can you play the cooking game?" I was like, "Yes, let's go play the cooking game." Because it is okay. It's just, if you haven't played Overcooked 1, I mean, it's just crazy story of the spaghetti monster coming to destroy the world, but you have to cook
Is
to
it a
feed him.
flying spaghetti monster?
It's a
Probably.
he's there, but then you have to feed him to satisfy it. But then this number 2 is about the unbred, the undead. You have to feed them.
Aha.
So crazy story, crazy levels, more recipes. You can now throw your food to each other, and that's an added feature. Amazing level design, in my opinion, because you have different, like, basically you're cooking, but like earthquakes happen. You're in like caves and you're on the rivers, and it's crazy.
It's the
More
odd
fun
place
story.
to be cooking food.
I know, but that's what makes it so much fun. So my wife and I are having a fantastic time. And I have to give it an 8 out of 10 at the moment. We're in like World 3, so I would say halfway through the game, but still 8 out of 10. No, Rob,
Crash.
what's going on?
Sorry,
Cut that out. Cut it out.
I need my water.
It's okay.
You guys don't judge me for having
no
water.
no judging. No
Hope you didn't
judging.
spill the water.
Overcooked 2.
No.
That was it.
Alright.
Now we have game scores of the week, and like we said before, it's a pretty slow week.
Yeah.
The
Times of
only,
releases.
the only game actually, and this is something new that I haven't looked into, so I just watched a trailer before the podcast. But State of Mind, has anyone heard that?
Tell us.
It kind
Tell
of
us
rings a
now.
little bit of a bell.
So the summary in itself is just it's an action adventure, and then it's futuristic thriller, I would say, game, and then I don't know, it's like you're going in between like virtual reality and it's like the utopian future. Either way, it's on all platforms: PC, Switch, Xbox One. I would like to hear anyone get their review on it, but it's been on average. It's on the average 70 across the board. So the artwork looks amazing though.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool, like, not a lot of texture, but like high poly type of look. Where they most of the detail is in, like, they're kind of blocky looking. Like, I don't want to like go too low, but not like Minecraft blocky, but not too much better.
Cell shaded.
Yeah, cell shaded.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it moves very smoothly. The world looks very alive. Definitely a cyberpunk type of future.
Yes,
so
that's what it is.
interesting.
Yeah.
I see a Metacritic review of 69. So
70.
I'm a little.
Yeah.
That's on Steam. It says 69. So
Yeah,
whatever.
right. And I kind of looked at the other games that this developer creates. I haven't really heard of any of them. So maybe this one's like their first like mainstream
What names? Can you name some for the benefit of our listeners and me?
The Pillars of the Earth, Witch-It.
Oh yeah, that by Ken Follett. That's a really pretty looking game actually. What it is it's a historically accurate action game based upon the this church in England back in like the medieval times. It's actually kind of cool. And it's very what they call it, atmospheric. So very interesting looking game. What else do they make? I'm curious to hear.
Holy Potatoes were in space.
No, sadly, that is not a time period accurate representation.
That's not a timepiece right there.
Candle, Valhalla Hills. I mean, these are they all look, and giving them credit, all of these have a different art aesthetic. Like all of these look very different from one another, and they just kind of like spanning out. And State of Mind is no exception because like if they went from like cell shaded, and you look at all these other ones, completely different artwork. So maybe they're just spanning out to see what's going on. So and that's Daedalic,
and they have they've actually had a lot of humble bundles. So they're I want to say maybe not them is the people that made it. Like it might be one of the like studios like under their umbrella, but they produce a ton of games. They've done the Deponia games, which they're pretty famous for. The Whispered Worlds, Blackguards is another one. Just to give you an idea, their list of games that they've made is over 40 deep. Just since 2011, maybe 2008. So I mean, 40 games in like 10 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They made that Shadow Tactics game that's I think currently free on Twitch, which is the ninja and samurai stealth RTS type of game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty proficient, prolific game creators. I don't know. Some of these are great, like Journey of a Roach. I don't know if you ever played that. That was actually fairly interesting. I won't go too deep into them, but I'm just taking a quick look overall. They've done some Sherlock Holmes stuff. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say that they're budget, but they're definitely not AAA.
Right.
2A.
2A. 1A maybe.
All right. I mean that's it. That's all the list for now.
Yeah,
but I
for We Happy Few.
Nothing for We Happy Few actually. I didn't see it there.
Yeah, that's a new release.
I mean, maybe
I guess it was kind of it had like an early access period and just now hit full release. I guess.
Right. It's basically everyone will have their reviews soon, possibly. Okay. Yeah.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Ooh.
Without playing it,
but I didn't play it. I just watched it on Twitch.
Just watch it. It looks I think it looks interesting for a certain crowd.
Metacritic gives it a 68.
Yep. Good guess.
So there you go, 6 out of 10. I'm
pretty average.
Close. Yeah, there are no. I mean, it's still early. Take it for what it's worth, but IGN is the highest review on there, so you never know.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Apparently, IGN's review is exactly the same as multiplayer.it.
Oh man, I gotta read that Reddit post to see where's that at. All right.
And that's pretty much all the gaming stuff we had this week, which is pretty much everything we have this week, besides one little tidbit news with a movie and a comic review from Rob.
Yeah, but tiny little comic review.
Yeah. We have The Kingsman 3 is starting filming in January. And if you haven't seen the other two, they're pretty fun movies.
The first one's great. The second one is decent. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one, but it's not as good.
I think it's fun. It's a fun movie. Not as deep or thought-invoking.
Not anywhere near as deep or thought-provoking.
But it is fun.
Yeah, I give it that.
And maybe 3 will kind of go back to where 1 was, instead of just being a really flashy.
Well, there's some stories about the development of Kingsman 2 where, so if you've seen it, Channing Tatum was supposed to be the co-star. Like he was supposed to be like the second listed person on the credits, and he's barely in the movie. They were not able to get him in for very long.
He's definitely not second co-star, that's for sure.
But they had to rewrite the movie basically at the beginning of filming because his schedule pulled him off for something else. And
I wonder if they'll kind of incorporate what maybe they had in mind for the next one.
I hope so. It sounds interesting. I like the idea of the statesmen and the whiskey makers and everything else, and the fact that there's secret societies and every. It's a very Mark Millar type of thing to do. So it made a lot of sense that they would have secret organizations with like a funny little twist, in each country. So maybe we'll see more of those.
All right. Well, tell me about this comic real fast.
Sure. So they are, when I say they, I mean Marvel Comics, small little, comics publisher.
I haven't heard of that.
Made a couple of films. They are releasing a massive crossover in the Spider-Man universe called Edge of Spider-Verse. So if you're familiar with the previous crossovers, Spider-Verse and Venomverse, this is more of that. So not a lot of news on there yet, but it looks like it's basically a multiverse crossover of all the different Spider-Mans. So this being number 1, starring Spider-Punk. So you guys familiar with Spider-Punk?
No.
Nope. Is he like a punk kid, or is it like Steam?
He looks like a punk kid. So basically, he's Spider-Man with a jean jacket with torn off sleeves and he's got metal spikes going up his mask.
Gotta have a mohawk.
Basically a spiked mohawk. So, what you might expect. So he's Spider-Punk, and they're fighting against the establishment man with Captain Anarchy, which is a clever fill-in for Captain America, and and they're fighting against the bad guy at the time, which is Kang the Conglomerate. So Kang is normally King the Conqueror. In this case, he's an evil corporation come back to squash the punk kids and their parting ways. So it's more clever than anything else, where they're just kind of like winking at the camera like, all right, yeah, this Spider-Man's like this. He's a punk rocker, and he listens to punk music, and
this is the Green Day on repeat.
Basically. It's cool, it's kind of fun. There's some neat visual gags, but there's nothing really unique about it. So and it didn't really do much for me in terms of where things are going. If King the Conqueror across the multiverse ends up being the big bad, I'm going to be a little annoyed because I think he's kind of lame.
Nothing more like just like the face.
No, this guy's basically has a green jumpsuit and a purple head, and he travels back in time. He's the future incarnation of Doctor Doom.
Okay.
And he travels back in time and like does stuff. So he and Doctor Doom do stuff. They were both involved in Infinity War, which you might remember I kind of blasted for being kind of a boring. It wasn't the worst one. The worst one was the Infinity one with the girl that was doing it. I forgot. Oh, Infinity Crusade. So Infinity Crusade was the worst one. That was after the King the Conqueror and Doctor Doom team up in Infinity War. So not good. Their whole plan was to make doppelgangers of all the enemies. So needless to say, it's setting some things up. I'm not really sure what that is, other than just say, hey, look, we can be weird and different with Spider-Man, and look, we made this punk rocker one who's shown up in other things, but they're trying to kind of fill in that back world. Not totally impressed, but I'll probably check it out, see what it's all about. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. A little underwhelming of a start, but you never know. Spider-Man comics are always fun and might turn into something interesting.
This one's pretty new.
Came out today.
Hot off the press with that review. Man, that is
off the press.
That's impressive.
There is Peter Parquois. So I got a question if there was Peter Parkour. There is a Peter Parquois who is I don't know, like from like a Middle Eastern Spider-Man, and he's got like a turban and like genie pants and little rounded shoes, and of course a Spider-Man mask. So
yeah.
That's pretty much it for everything. So I guess it's time we dive into some 20 questions.
Let's do it.
Some video game 20 questions.
Some video game 20 questions, and it is me with the game this week.
World of Warcraft. Okay.
All
Thanks,
right,
everybody.
Nice.
Thanks everybody for showing up this week.
Appreciate everyone showing up.
Do I get a game?
Sure. You can have
World of Warcraft.
What's free right now on Twitch?
I already paid for World of Warcraft. You can say World of Warcraft. That's fine. Okay, no. Questions. Let's go. He's got a game. Looking at you, chat. That's right.
Looking at you, chat.
Looking at chat.
Let's see if we can narrow down some years.
A little spotty today, but chat's still there.
I'm going to ask if it's after the year 2000.
It is indeed.
After the year 2010.
It is not.
Is it after the year 2005?
I'll say it's in the year 2005.
Oh,
Okay.
he's giving us that.
Oh, that really helps. We got a one.
Yeah.
365.
I guess it was. I guess technically after 2005.
That's fine. We'll stick with our meta. All right, so 2005 game.
I know, 2005 game. Well, what's the consoles? Xbox 360, right?
You were right at the fringe of changing
PS2.
stuff over. So Xbox 360, PS2 was still out. PS3 was not.
Okay. Xbox 360 came out before?
Around. Yeah.
Okay.
360 predated the PS3.
Okay.
Show.
Was this a platform exclusive?
It was.
Oh, nice.
Was
that a a Xbox platform exclusive.
It was.
Yo.
Now we just got to figure out if it was a 360 or a previous.
Does it have cowboys?
I have Cowboys. It does not.
Oh, I thought he was going for. Sorry. I was.
Well, that didn't come out till much later.
Much later?
Yep.
No. There was a first one. There was a first one. way
He's
back
talking
when.
about.
Gun?
Yeah. No, we did Gun like last week.
No, we did
I was going
Gun.
to say, I thought we just talked about that.
He's
No,
talking
it was the
about,
first one.
Red Dead.
Revolver?
Revolver.
Oh, right. Yeah, so no Cowboys.
Sorry.
Chat has a question. Does the game that made the game still exist under the same name?
It does.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Paul.
Is it part of a series?
It is.
Nice. So we have a series made by someone who's still making games today under the same
no
name.
cowboys.
No Cowboys.
Very, very important. All right.
Does the
All right.
lead character have a hat? That's always very important to ask. I don't know
The
if I'll
lead
do that
character
this time.
does indeed have a hat.
I was kidding, but that's great.
No cowboys. That's what I'm
Let's
focused
find
on
out
right
if it's
now.
360 or if it's original Xbox. I think that's a fair question to ask.
All right, 360. Yes.
It is not.
Okay, so we're at the tail end of the original Xbox series.
You're at that's 10 right there.
Okay, let's try to find out what type of game it is. 'Cause, I mean, we've got the year. We've got the
Series.
series. So is it an action game? I'll call it action adventure. Like that
It
would be
is.
the.
It
okay.
is an action adventure. Yep. I
Okay.
didn't know how you wanted to clarify that, but yeah, it is an action adventure.
Okay, we got an action adventure game on the Xbox. Oh, there's so many, but we can certainly narrow this
Series.
down.
I mean, you can do
Still coming out
publisher,
today.
publishers.
Yeah, let's try that.
Was it published by EA?
It was.
We are just nailing it, and we still
We're
haven't figured
nailing
out.
I know,
what
I know.
game it is.
Nailing it.
By EA, no less. Is it a futuristic game?
No, I wouldn't say that. No,
No,
He wouldn't say that, Rob. He wouldn't say
he
that.
would
about
not
this game.
say that.
No.
it's not futuristic. You wouldn't go, "Wow, this game looks futuristic."
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about an Xbox original. I want to say Xbox One, but no, that's the new one.
OG.
The original
Xbox game, 2005,
Right.
action adventure, not futuristic.
Series.
Lead character wears a hat.
Oh yeah, the hat. Right.
Very important, the hat.
Platform exclusive. Was no, I don't want to ask that. Like a kind of like well received, but I mean, if it's a series, it's well received usually.
Yeah, typically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2005 predates a lot of series that we would be probably thinking of now. Like this is before Assassin's Creed. This is, before. I mean, it doesn't predate Battlefield, but Battlefield as we know it probably. So
I mean, used to action adventures. I mean, action adventures aren't shooters, so
sure,
right, yeah,
sure.
So, I mean, you could have a weapon. It could be platformy. I don't know.
It's an action adventure, so that wouldn't be like a first person or a platformer.
First, third, overhead.
Oh, that's true. I guess you could have something like that.
Good question.
Is it an RPG?
No, it is not an RPG.
Okay,
so action
EA,
adventure RPG. Yeah.
EA scraped together some money, made a game that was an action adventure game, but was not an RPG. It's part of a series is the series still going on today?
Let me check.
Probably not.
Well, I like Paul's question. We should ask that.
Yes, we should.
What's that?
I want to say that it is, but I don't want to give out false information.
Okay. Is it third person? Is the game played fully in third person?
You're saying fully in third person?
Let's just say is it mainly in third person?
Yes,
Mainly.
that's 50.
Yeah, because you could have some like shifting perspectives depending upon what's going on.
Oh yeah, like dialogue of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. And you said entirely. There's 2 seconds at the beginning of the game where he approaches the door and the camera pans around. Technically, that is part of the game?
I would say yes. They're still making games, by the way.
Okay. They're still making this game series.
Yes, they're making this series.
Yeah,
Yes.
They're making this game series still. Is it the 10th in the series? No. From the original Xbox?
action adventure. Not an RPG. I wonder if we're talking about like some like Resident Evil, or no, not Resident Evil, but maybe like Silent Hill type of game, because that would
On
be
no, Silent Hill's exclusive to
on
Sony.
Xbox.
No.
It wouldn't be exclusive though. No, they got Silent Hill on Xbox. They definitely
Is
do.
it on?
Yep.
Yeah, one or a couple of them.
Okay, a couple of them there.
But it
Okay.
wouldn't be exclusive, and that's the thing. This is exclusive.
Yeah,
so-
exclusive EA exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes, on the box when this came out, it said only on Xbox.
On Xbox.
Wait. So this was exclusive, but not to say the future ones are exclusive.
Well, we haven't clarified
We
that.
haven't clarified that, but we can say that this one is.
When
Yeah.
this game came out, the case said on Xbox.
That might be throwing us off a little bit. So
Maybe.
maybe more about the character itself. The hat maybe is something
Hat is important.
very nice. What kind of hat? Maybe we can figure out what kind of hat. You know, no,
Oh, we know it doesn't. It's not a cowboy hat.
not a cowboy hat. That's right. Maybe
Well,
talk about weapons.
there's no
or-
cowboys in the game, so if he was wearing a cowboy hat, he's got to be a cowboy, and you have to tell me.
or like
he's wearing
more
a
like
cowboy hat.
more like is it it doesn't have to be like all the humans. Is it like, I mean, I'm not asking these questions, but like something along the lines of maybe
Yeah,
figuring
let's
out.
ask that. Are they all
what
human?
Are they
That's
all
fair.
human? No.
And not futuristic, so we can't say like robots or something like that. But if it's not human, I don't know, like
Could
mix
be like
between
a Spyro or something with a hat. Who wears
EA
a
hat. I mean,
Exclusive.
I was thinking like Sly Cooper, but like that's back when.
That's
That was-
PlayStation.
That's PlayStation, exactly. But that's something that's an action adventure, right? That something
Mm-hmm.
like that along those lines.
From EA. I was pretty much, early on in my EA hate back then. I was still strong with it, though. I was boycotting a lot of those games.
Banjo,
This is back when it was EA did the game.
yeah, EA published by EA, but not developed. Could be not developed by EA either.
Who knows?
Did EA didn't? Or sorry, not EA, but I mean, really, what series did EA have? That's what I'm trying to think of. Because
Oh, they have tons of them, but the question is exclusive to Xbox.
Lord of the Rings, something Lord
There
of
was
the
a Lord
Rings.
of the Rings. Yeah, there definitely was a Lord of the Rings game. But
None of them have hats.
all of
Not
them
that I
have
know
hats.
of. They have
And not
helmets.
future.
Helmets.
Yeah, helmets, but not. Yeah.
He said he wouldn't call it futuristic, so I think
I
we
would-
got to think a little more,
What
Closer to
questions
today.
are we on?
The next question is going to be 18.
Oh my
What?
gosh. We're just about done.
No.
Chat, help us out. Get us out of this. We've messed up. We don't know what we're doing.
We've done messed up. We've done goofed, everybody.
We've ruined this. It's terrible.
I'm gonna look back at my EA collection here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
See.
turn to my EA collection. It's apparently all been thrown away.
Oh man.
From EA. Oh, man. What else did they
I'll
make?
throw you some bones on this one because I kind of want you to get it.
He said bones. I don't know. What is it?
There's first person. There's third person. Action adventure is not the only category of genre it is. And what's another bone I can throw?
Not action adventure RPG.
It was only published by EA, not developed.
Who was developed by? Just say
you know, what was that game?
Assassin's Creed.
No, what was that Strangers game with Munch's Odyssey? Stranger's Wrath.
That's it.
I got it.
Stranger's Wrath.
That's it. I kind of got a weird look from you when I said he's not wearing a cowboy hat, and then you said, "Huh?" I'm like, "Oh,
might
maybe
be.
he is."
Hell yeah.
He doesn't wear a hat. Does
He
he?
does.
Stranger does indeed wear a hat. Is
And a mask, a little bandana.
yeah.
This is the second
Wow.
game we've had of this. Like in the past, like couple, I don't know, episodes. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's cool.
Oddworld
That
Strange
is
Wrath.
crazy.
This was actually on my 11th birthday. I went to good old, I think it might have been EB back then down here in the States. On my 11th birthday, I walked in with 120 or so bucks.
Yeah.
It was Wrath and Fable for the original Xbox.
Oh, that's a great combo.
That was a great year. That was one of the best birthdays I had.
Oddworld's a fantastic game, but why would you tell us that they're still making these? I don't.
They are actually Oddworld.
Are they?
Oddworld Inhabitants is actually, they released the game in 2015, and there's actually one lined up to be released this year.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Oddworld Soulstorm has a release aim date of 2018.
Wow.
That
Okay.
threw me off completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of struggling with it, but then just the EA part. That's the only thing I can really remember from EA, because that was a big acquisition that they did, Munch's Odyssey and all that. But that was a fun game.
It was a great game.
The first person perspective is when you could grab the Gatling gun and shoot from the towers down. That was fun. Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is a cool one to pick out. The live ammo is pretty neat too.
Yeah, that was cool. Live ammo was a very interesting game for its time.
Sure. Cool. Well, thank you for that trip down memory lane.
And thank you, chat, for the
Thanks,
help.
chat.
Appreciate you, chat.
And thanks for all those hints at the very end. So we can.
Yes, that made everything.
So, Rob, go ahead and give yourself a game if you want.
Right.
Sure.
We do give giveaways to the people who get the game wrong.
This week I'm giving off a pre-order for Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. So, hey, congratulations to lucky winner Rob for winning that game.
Wow. Congrats, Rob, for being here. Awesome.
Anyway, so let's close this out. Give us some I don't know. Just tell us about the community and let's get out of here.
Okay, sure. Fantastic. So we are part of the PixelPub gaming community. And you can visit our website, pixelpubgaming.com, for all the news and info about our community. But the best place to actually interact with us and talk with us and just play games with us is on Discord. And we have hit 11,000 members now.
Hey.
And we're growing very quick. And
I can think WoW's helping that out a little bit.
I like to think so too, along with
It's
all the other...
bad mama jammas
All those
making
bad
this thing
memories.
happen.
And all the other games, which we have a developing community section. So let's say, for instance, you don't see the game that you like to play in the community, or that you like to play in the community, but you don't see it. You can suggest it, get some people behind it, and then we can create a section for it under this area, and then we can start building it up. We can help you build it up. And
I think
of course,
actually one of the up and coming communities, Madden, is actually gonna.
well, we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna.
We'll see.
Because there's a lot of people asking for some stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We have a team dedicated to just trying to communicate with leaders there and try to see what we can do with it, to really create a category within the community. Monster Hunter World is still very popular now because it came out on PC. So we have games upon games, basically. Just get in there and talk.
How's the Oddworld Stranger's Wrath community doing?
We have
strong?
two people that like it. Rob and Brandon. I think they.
Okay.
They like
Don't know
it,
them. Sound like
but yeah,
some jerks.
Sound like some fine fellers.
But yeah, of course, Destiny's still going strong. Wrath Incarnate, check us out. Our Warframe community is actually coming up with an alliance, meaning they're growing so quickly that we have to, make more clans and bring them together. So if you like Warframe, check us out. And of course, the Bad Mama Jammas with their dedication to this game and grinding. I see people still playing and still trying to get to the.
People were. I know for Blaze, our other host, he was up 25 hours straight.
There we go.
Had a 15-hour stream.
Dedication right there.
Some dedication.
Yep, and we're gonna go for mythic raiding this time, and we're gonna go for like some casual raid teams in general. So if you look up the Bad Mama Jammas,
Yeah, I'll encompass.
Join us.
If you're looking,
Yep.
if you need anything on WoW, we'll encompass it.
yeah, I'll
Nice.
visit on pixelpubgaming.com.
Yep. Don't
Yep.
forget about merch. We got t-shirts.
How about this podcast? Where can we find this podcast, Brandon?
You can find this podcast if you're not already wondering how you're listening to it on
Yes.
Google Play, iTunes, Twitch, YouTube, all the places. Literally, if you're listening to it, you can be listened to anywhere. So
Did you say Spotify?
not Spotify, SoundCloud. This is
SoundCloud. I wish. Yeah.
But
They're the
yeah,
toughest one, but yeah.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe, give a like, follow, share, do all that good stuff. But that'll be it for us this week. See you guys later.
Bye.
See you, everybody.